Hey guys, Scripted here with another video, and I wanted to discuss a couple of comments here made by Sigourney Weaver, who is in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and had a couple of comments. She's delighted to join the Star Wars franchise, and she says that little Grogu is the whole reason she joined the Star Wars franchise. Okay, so, first of all, if that's true, she's never been a fan, which is fine. You don't have to be. You're an actor. But she's never been a fan. She just thinks Grogu's cute. That's pretty much what it comes down to, okay? She says she never really thought about joining the Star Wars franchise. When she was offered a role in the upcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, there was one teeny tiny thing that made her sign on, Baby Yoda. I get to have scenes with a little Grogu, which is probably why I did the movie. Weaver tells Games Radar, and he's a little badass too. It's going to be wonderful for people to see what Grogu is up to now, because he's grown up a little bit and is capable of much more than maybe we think just watching the series. Okay, so Mandalorian and Grogu takes place specifically between 10 and 11 ABY. Okay, so they're saying that, according to Screen Rant, Mandalorian Season 3 is set roughly 8 years after Return of the Jedi. Games Radar saying the same thing, 11 ABY. Dexerto, same thing. Now, I don't think Disney's come out and set an exact date. Okay, there's nothing on the Star Wars website that answers this question. And the reason I'm asking this question is she's alluding to the fact that there's been a lot of growth in Grogu. But, I mean, he's been with Mando for a while now. We're assuming, like, whatever, a year or whatever. Of course, he's whatever the Yodas are, so he doesn't change really at all. His growth is extremely slow, although he's going to have to grow up really fast now. So this is where they screwed up Grogu. We've talked about this way in the past about The Mandalorian, where this big problem with Grogu, because he's 50 and he's a baby. He coos, he pukes. I don't care what anybody says. He's a baby. That's what he is. And he can hardly walk. He has to be in essentially a space stroller. And yet, Yoda was training Jedi at 100 years old. Because he even says, I've been training Jedi for 800 years. And he's 900. We're 900 years old. You are. Look this good, you will not. Or to that effect, to Luke originally. So, how much change could there possibly be? But again, that's the problem. He's got to go from a total baby that's been a baby for 50 years to a adult that trains that he doesn't necessarily have to train anybody, but would be capable of communicating and doing stuff equivalent to, somebody who would be able to train somebody to do something. So an adult. So the way that they screwed this up by making him 50, and I don't think they even thought about it, the people at Star Wars. They don't think, they just do. But Screen Rant here is saying that Mandalorian and Grogu will take place in the Star Wars timeline around 10 to 11 ABY. Which is the same time as the show. So the 3 seasons of the show and the movie take place in the same basic year period. So when Sigourney Weaver says he's gonna change, it's going to be wonderful for people to see that what Grogu is up to now, because he's grown up a little bit and is capable of much more than maybe we think just watching the series. So, I'm bringing this up because what could that possibly mean? Because as far as Force abilities, Jedi stuff, he is the most powerful of anyone ever at his age. Or at least anyone ever that we've seen on screen. It's not even close. He's blocking humongous fireballs. He's blocking mudhorns. He's using the Force in ways that, Luke could only have dreamed of, right? Vader couldn't even take things to that far. Now, of course, under Disney with Kenobi, they've got him, pulling ships down and all this crap because they don't know what they're doing and they like to screw around with continuity. But anyways, I'm saying this because I don't think it's a Force issue. I think she's alluding to the fact that he's growing up. He's grown up a little bit. Is he going to talk? And if he talks, how are they going to make it work? And this is another one of those things that I thought to myself when they came out with this character. I was very concerned. I thought to myself, okay, he's 50. Again, the adult is 100. So he needed to be talking in the show. But they wanted him to be a baby and coo and puke, and they thought it was funny. And we all know Filoni's obsessed with kids. I've talked about this before. I've done Twitter things, but it's just that Everything has to do with kids in Star Wars now. Constantly. I totally had forgotten that in Rogue One, Jyn Erso was a little kid and Saw Gerrera saved her. It's all about saving the little kids. But Grogu should have been talking. But they marketed the baby because they could make some money, and they did. Even though that ship has sailed now, they did. And now you're going to have him talk? It's going to be so awkward and weird. I don't know how they're going to do his voice and it not sound dumb. I really don't know how they're going to do that. Like you let me know in the comments section. Like, do you see a way they could make his voice and it not sound dumb? Like, imagine a baby, like, with a high-pitched voice, and he looks like Yoda. I don't know, man, if that's what it is. Otherwise, I don't see what it could be, because it's the same year. What else is he going to do? As Weaver did not appear in the Mandalorian series, we still don't know for sure who her character is, although it has been reported that Weaver is playing a New Republic Colonel Bishop in the film. When asked for more on her mysterious role, Weaver replies, I play a wonderful character who is, in a position of authority, and I have to send the Mandalorian out on a mission on the Outer Rim where all the bad stuff happens. There's rumors swirling that she plays a New Republic colonel, but then she's a turncoat. And she actually sends Mandalorian and Grogu to do something they shouldn't do. But the other side of it is she actually sends him to do something he should do. The rumor is the whole movie is literally him just going to save Rhoda, the now, equivalent of 20-year-old Jabba the Hutt's son. He's saving him from another bounty hunter, Ebo, who Dave Filoni is the voice of. And, this is a Clone Wars episode that they're dragging into a 2-hour movie. So it's one or the other. She's either sending him under false pretenses or she's sending him under positive pretenses. We don't know 100% for sure. With so much experience working on big sci-fi franchises like Alien and Avatar, it is surprising that Weaver didn't join the galaxy far, far away sooner. I admire Star Wars, but I don't sit around wishing I was in another franchise because I'm so lucky to be in some wonderful ones. But at the time when I was offered it, I was delighted. I'm a great fan of Jon Favreau. I was already a great fan of The Mandalorian. Say what you want, Jon Favreau does have a lot of respect in Hollywood. He's been around a very long time. He's been in a lot of movies. He's directed a lot of movies. He's written a lot of movies. He has a lot of clout, despite the fact that, in my opinion, and many opinions, I think despite his best efforts, he's caved to a lot of the stupidity in Star Wars. And let's face it, the issues with Grogu that I've discussed earlier stem from him, too. But he does get a lot of respect. He's been around a really long time. I do wonder if things would have been different if he was running Lucasfilm instead of Kathy. I think they would have been. How different is debatable, but I think they would have been. Directed and written by Jon Favreau, the movie welcomes back Pedro Pascal as bounty hunter Din Djarin, who embarks on a new, exciting adventure with his apprentice Grogu. The Mandalorian and Grogu hits theaters on May 2026. The other thing I was thinking about was maybe Grogu gets his Mando suit in this one. Which I also think is lame and corny. And I know some people really like that. He's a baby. So it's either going to be he's talking, he's wearing the suit and walking. I don't know how he's going to do it because he's going to go from barely walking at all and walking extraordinarily slow to just if he's a Mandalorian, he's going to have to be able to move around. So he's either doing that, wearing the suit and being a Mando, which has been rumored for a while, that he would do that at some point in the Mandalorian series, and this is season 4 essentially in a movie. The other thing, I guess, is he goes even crazier in the Force. I mean, I don't know. Unless she's talking about character growth, maybe he has to make a decision and he makes the wrong one or something, but it's he's a baby. Anyways, Grogu creates problems big time in the continuity and the timeline. He doesn't really make any sense as far as his age and stuff and abilities. And I don't care if he was at the temple. He was a flippin' toddler. He can't even read. You're telling me that guys that have been training and they're adults can't even come anywhere in the hemisphere of this kid's powers? That's nonsense. Anyway, he creates a lot of problems. But there you go. That's the thing. He's going to do something different and crazy. Let me know in the comment section if you can think of something I haven't thought of, or what you think it's going to be, or if you think it's going to be lame, or whatever you think it's going to be. And as usual, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It always helps the channel. Feel free to check out anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.